Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our evening connection. We know that this week we enter into a new, what we call the new book. We have the 5 books in the entire story. And of course, everything has a reason, right? 5 books related to the 5 levels of our vessels, right? 5 phases, different aspects of our vessel. And obviously, in an entire year, you throughout those books, you elevating, right, from or starting from the seed and creating what we call a route or a route for us to grow spiritually with the path of the Torah. The second book is called Exodus, book of Shemot. Obviously, Exodus is nothing to do with the word Shemot, right? Shemot is names. Right, but they call it Exodus because it's here from this moment on. It speaks about the names of the people who went down to Egypt to be in an exile from Israel. Right, that's the whole story. And then after Shemot, of course, when they leave Egypt and all of that. So that book is related to the system of the exile, right? Galut Mitzrayim, the exile of Egypt. And obviously the whole story with the splitting of the Red Sea and in the desert and the Torah and all of that, the tablets, this is all, coming in this book. What do we have this week? Right? This week is the beginning of that book, right? And the name of the first portion actually represents the entire book, right? But the entire book is divided to different portions, and it's all designed. That's the way that the Torah is designed is in a way of escalator, right? It's step after step, okay? Even though some of the stuff that you read are not chronological or systematic in a way of the before and after, or it seems like that was before and that was after. How come they left and then he came back? Well, some of that doesn't make any sense. But the idea is that it's all levels of consciousness that we all aspire to achieve. So every portion, it's another step. It's not the whole thing. Because every portion, it seems like, oh, wow, that's the most amazing one. That's the most amount of secret. No. Every portion, buying within itself, it's a beautiful revelation. Here in this portion, right? You have the birth of Moses. What is the birth of Moses? Who is Moses? Moses is you and I. It's never speak about a certain person who lived there 3,000 years ago. Yes, but definitely that is been put in a story for us to be able to understand the character that is in a way of like is concealed within us. So Moses represent our leadership quality. How Moses was leader, right? Humility, with humbleness, right? A leader. Vayar besivlotam, and he went out and he felt the pain. A leader who doesn't feel the pain is not a leader, right? A leader who is, not humble enough or can't put people, before him, right? And so for many, many other reasons, right? A leader that goes all the way. A leader is someone who doesn't calculate. Right? You see, this is the birth of Moses. That's the beginning. So there is the fact that we're reading about it this week, the fact that we connect into it this week. It means you can connect to a deeper part of who you are. That's what it means. Don't ever forget that what we study is nothing to do with an historical document. It's an actual living, breathing information who allow you to access. It's like every week you read, it's like you get, to your phone, you get upgrades, right? Not upgrades or updates, right? A new software or a new security upgrades, right? All kind of stuff you get on your phone, and you gladly doing it, right? The same thing. We need to upgrade. We need to update. We need refreshment. We need a new firewall. You think you don't need a firewall? You need to protect all your senses, all your gates, all your energy. A lot of us don't understand that once you verbalize something out there, everybody is there to grab it. If you don't know how to create a firewall, exactly like technology. That is the technology that, again, specifically in this parashot, in this book, we get the technology of the 72 names, the Ana Bekoach, right? The word ve'ele shemot. Look at that, the way the portion starts, it says ve'ele shemot. These are the names. These ve'ele is numerical value 42, which is the Ana Bekoach, the 7-sentence prayer of the Ana Bekoach, that represent the 42 journeys of your soul. And that is already starting right here, giving you information that it's nothing to do with those people. It's a continuum of who we are. It's not the people of the desert. It's us today. We continue in the... we don't have a carriage. We have a car. Right? We don't have a horse. We have bicycles, right? Or motorcycle, right? We don't have a pyramid, right? To live in, or whatever it is. But it's all a continuum of who we are 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and today. Makes no difference. It's just the same exact thing. So that's why when I tell people, you know what, I don't want to work for this company. Okay, quit. Do you think why you don't want to work for the company? Oh, the boss is this, the people bothering me. Oh, I don't want to be married to this woman or to this man, right? Okay, you're gonna find the same way unless you've done your tikkun. It's all continuing. So if you think you can run away, that's why he says in these weeks, he says, Ve'ele Shemot Bnei Israel, this is the name of the Israelite, Haba'im Mitzrayma, they coming down to Egypt. What does it mean, Haba'im? Why they didn't call it, they go to it? These are the people who went to Egypt, not coming to Egypt, right? You can say it this way, but really what it means, if you read it literally, it means Abaim, which they coming to Egypt. No, but it represents the people who went. Because there is consciousness here. Every time, what does Egypt represent? Egypt represents any trouble, any difficulty, any challenge in a relationship, in business, with friendship. Any challenge like that, it means we are in Egypt. What's happening to many people when they see Egypt? Egypt represent challenge, difficulty, discomfort, What happening? They not ba'im, they emborchim. They not coming, they escaping. None of us see something as Egypt, right? Any darkness, and yes, let's go there. No, everybody run away from that. I have enough trouble, I don't need Egypt right now. So the idea is of what we receive is part of our journey, is to understand that whatever stands in front of me, whether if it's in business today, in relationship, or friendship, or family issues, or whatever it is, or health, right now it appears, right now, that's your Egypt. What are you going to do about it? What will be your approach? I'm coming to it. I'm heads on. Right? That's a leader will do. A leader won't say to the people, let's run away. Heads on. Straight. Right there. Give it to me. A lot of people are like, no, tomorrow, next week, I need some time. What is the consciousness? Haba'im Mitzrayma. Which means, today, this week, I'm receiving the power, ve'ele. Ve'ele is one of our journeys. Ve'ele, the word ve'ele is these are, which means represent your journey as a continuum. You have to remember that. Don't be surprised in life. Wow, I'm surprised. What do you mean? Why are you surprised? Because you think it's new. No, it's just a continuing of the same series. Yeah, there's a plot different or the character different. It's the same story. You know, it's funny. We were talking to my wife. We went to see a movie. You know, and one of my least favorite is romantic comedies. You know, enough. You know, once you see one of them, no disrespect. Once you see one of them, it's kind of like you see all of them, right? It's the same story with the wedding, and they're looking for that. You know them, right? So again, I'm watching this movie, and I know exactly what's going to be next. It was not even a single moment of surprise, right? Why? Because I know they're going to leave her, and then he's going to chase after her, and then she's going to leave him, and then they're going to meet over here. We all seen that, right? And still sitting there and enjoying, even though I know what's going on. Again, I'm not sure, enjoyment is the right word, but again, we get entertained. But even though we know. So, obviously, even though you think you know the end, you still need to go through the process. So, a lot of us trying to avoid that process. Yeah, I know what's going to be, so why going even there? It's all about preventing ourselves from even starting to go, because the idea is that what you think you're going to get is not exactly what you meant to get, right? You meant to get even more than that. But because you have the attitude of borchim, escaping, right? Not coming to Egypt, right? Therefore, the result that you get are almost like close to nothing, because you feel like, why is it now? What do you mean, why is it now? It's been there like for 3,000 years. Just today, we need to deal with it in different ways. So again, what is the one idea that is surrounded here? We have the new book, of course, in the level we call from Genesis is Keter, and then we have Exodus, which is called Chokhmah, which is the wisdom, the true wisdom. We have the birth of Moses, which is the birth of a leader within us, and all the attributes and the power that the leader have that exists today. We're going into exile in Egypt. Again, the way you're going into exile, what do you mean exile? A difficult moment, challenge, right? Egypt, narrow place, small place. I want to have the consciousness of what? Ba'im. I'm coming to it. I'm coming heads on. Not wishy-washy, not escaping, not conscious of that. I see the exile. I see that situation might last a week or two or a month. I'm heads on that. That's the first couple initial idea that we need to awaken now. Then, one of the beautiful things that the Baal Shem Tov shared, one of the Kabbalists, he shared something beautiful. He says that the exile of Egypt, what is the Egyptian exile? It's not the Egyptian people, right? And it's not Egypt the place. It's not the place Egypt. Egypt, we know, again, from a Kabbalistic point of view. Yes, any other, if you read in the Bible, if you read religion, they're going to tell you Egypt is over there in Africa. No, Egypt for us is consciousness. Consciousness. Like Israel is consciousness, Egypt is consciousness. Egypt represents the lowest of the lowest. The darkest of the darkest consciousness. The smallest of the smallest, right? Even though it seems big and vast, and they control the entire world, is still the consciousness there is to stay small. Small meaning, a lot of darkness, little light, not a lot of light, right? It's all the Dark Lord situation over here. But the idea of what is it for us today is, as the Baal Shem Tov explained, is Galut Mitzrayim, the exile of Egypt, its lack of consciousness, right? It's representing lack of consciousness dictate or determined or certainty that there is only one creator, only one light. Benjamin, well, of course there's only one God. What are you talking about? People think there's others. That's what Egypt represents. What does it represent? That it's not simply just to be people all day long thinking that there is no God, or there's atheists, or God left us, or there's no creator to this world, there's no light. What is they talking about light, No. I'm sure at some point everybody have a certain connection and certain understanding about it. It's even the people who are actually certain about it, sometimes they're falling into exile in a way of thinking that today, or this hour, or in this meeting, the Creator didn't come. There's no light in this situation, right? That's the idea. So what is represent? A reality that each one of us, what is the real idea? That all of us, all the people of the world, will come to a conclusion that there is only one light, there's only one soul, that we all part of it, and all managed by the light of the Creator. And we are the conduit for that. It's not ours, doesn't belong to us, it's not running by us, but we are the conduit for it. But it's all managed by that light, by that Creator, one Creator. But how? Look at their God and this God. No, same God. Muslim, Christian, Hindus, Japanese, Chinese, Asian, doesn't matter who they are. Africa, South America, all the different things. Eventually, they know they have all kind of different gods or different things or different idols. But in the end of the day, everybody understand on that. But in some level, we are not there yet in a full consciousness, living in a reality that there's only one light and we're all using the same light. It's like the electricity in Europe or in America or in Africa, or everybody's using the same electricity. Yeah, this is 110, this is 220 or so forth. This is 9 or 20. It doesn't matter that now. The same electricity. Yeah, the strength or the current of this or that doesn't matter. It what matter, we all using the same electricity. We all drinking the same water. We all breathing the same air. Here a little bit less, a little bit more pure. The same light we all use. The same body we all got. The same operation system. And we all still think that I'm different than them. My body is cleaner or is more unique than them. My body or their body. All the people of this color or the people of that color, people of this nation or people of that nation. That's all and it represents exile. Egypt, exile. That we thinking all of us are different. And their God or their belief. At the end of the day, we have to come up to a place where, hey guys, we're all the same. That's kind of like what we call getting out of Egypt, getting out of the idols, getting out of the intermediate, and get a straight connection to who we are, what we came here to do, what kind of conduit we are for that light. In order to achieve what we call the redemption, because Galut is exile, Geula, which is you add the letter Aleph to Galut, you get Geula, which is redemption. To redeem, right? Redeem ourselves. So it says that, it's interesting enough, in this portion of the Zohar, in portion Shmot, there is the famous section speaks about the coming of the Mashiach, coming of the Messiah. Highly recommended to read it. A lot of that is, some of that is scary, some of it is actually, coming. Hopefully not, because we're going to do the work, but the Zohar explained to you. Like we witnessed in October 7, an unheard of reality that could shake in any nation, any people. It should shake in the entire world, right? And yes, people changed from that. Yes, people got connected a little bit more. Yes, people start to give more. Yes. Not to say that it stayed the same, right? It's a little bit less and less intensified desire of the people. So, in order to create a collective redemption, each one of us need to achieve what we call a private Mashiach, a private Messiah. That's the goal. Because it says, the Baal Shem Tov explained, that if each one of us doing the work of revealing our private Mashiach, what does it mean, Mashiach? Mashiach to you. Not Mashiach, Mashiach for me, what is Mashiach? Complete redemption, right? Complete redemption from chaos, pain, and suffering, and death, right? That's it, we're done, that's Mashiach. But for that person, for this person, Mashiach sounds different. Yeah, collectively, there were going to be removal of death. But in order to achieve that collectively, we need each one of us to work and obviously focus on ourselves in a way. What does it mean for me, a Mashiach? Do I live a reality of Mashiach? Not what they say it should be, or what they think Mashiach it is. What does it mean for you? Privately, in your own life. What does it mean, Mashiach? Mashiach for me is that I wake up in the morning, everything is good, I eat, I drink, I work, come back, going to sleep. That's Mashiach for me. Mashiach for somebody else is if I go to my gym and exercise, that's Mashiach, I don't worry about anything. Mashiach for me is for me is when everybody study Kabbalah, right? We're still there? No. But that's for me. Somebody else, Mashiach, they need a soulmate. They got their soulmate, Mashiach, that's it. They're living in a Mashiach reality. Every person, every single day, need to bring their own private Mashiach. That should be the focus of each one of us. And by doing so, we collectively, as the Baal Shem Tov says, Pitom yavo Mashiach. All of a sudden, unrelated to what you're going to do. Imagine I'm going to drink tea. I'm drinking my tea. I'm teaching the class, and boom, Mashiach is here, right? Imagine, I always thinking about, October 7 in the morning. Again, it was Friday night. Wake up, we celebrate Simchat Torah. We are here, so we don't know what's going on. Saturday night, Saturday morning, you wake up. A whole new reality. It's like, what? What just happened? Is it something that I've done last night? Did I cause that? Right? Today, let's say, I don't know, you go in and you buy in a flower, right? As soon as you bought that flower, boom, Mashiach revealed. It's nothing to do with the flower or that action or that action. It represents that it's not about what you're doing or not doing. It's a sum total of each one of us actions comes together to download what we call that upgrades of Mashiach. That's what it is. I want to give you at least 4 ideas over here of how to work to our private redemption, our private Mashiach. And of course, how do I bring that private Mashiach? Step number 1 is to be in the consciousness of knowing. Every single day I know that today, what I'm experiencing today is a continuum story of my tikkun, my process. It might be 5,000 years, it might be 200 years, but it's a continuum of that story. It's like, right now the Israelite going to Egypt. Nobody told them that they're going to spend the next 400 years. Right? 400 years. Imagine right now let's say the war in Israel, right? So they want to take the Palestinian and send them to different Arab countries, right? Imagine that's happening, right? Who knows how long that exile will last for them? 500 years? 20 years? Right? Take the Israelis. Imagine the whole Arab countries goes and Chas v'Shalom remove the Jewish people out of Israel. Chas v'Shalom, right? Then what? Who knows how long it's going to last? When is the time that you can go back? Because it's happened before. It's happened now, right? Now, Jacob taking all his family down to Egypt for 400 years. 400 years. Can you imagine? If somebody tells you, okay, you're going to go to that, you're going to stay there for generations of generations, hundreds of years, who within his mind will do it? So every time you're going into it, you have to understand, every experience that you're going through today is a continuum of that same exile. So let's say for example today something in business happened, right? And it's like bothering you, right? And in that moment you lost consciousness of the Creator. You thought it's that person doing it. You thought the boss have something against you. You think the client is trying to cheat you and all of that. Yes, you can look at that this way. Or you can look at that, it's a continuum of a story that's going on in my life for the last 70 years. I don't even know, right? Or 700 years. I don't even know, it's the same deal. But it's not about the deal, it's about me losing the consciousness of everything. This is my tikkun, this is my story, it's a continuum of my story, right? And I know it's all managed by the light, one God, one creation, one direction of all of us. We are one soul. Why am I blaming that person? Why am I doing it to that person, right? It's my story, it's my tikkun. That's the first step, that we should be in that consciousness. The second one, Mashiach, is from the word Masiach, which is sicha, conversation. Mashiach is the word Masiach, which is from a conversational, communication. That is the second step. We need to keep the conversation goes. Conversation, we all day long talking with your Creator. It's a whole long, every situation that happened, It's a conversation with the Creator, nothing to do with the bank, with the person, with the wife, or with the child. It's a conversation with the Creator. Second is, create your private conversation with the Creator. It's a constant conversation that needs to be there. With the Creator directly, you and the Creator, the way. And second thing is, every interaction today, it's not interaction with the people, or with the government, or with the lawyer, or with the X, or this X, or that investor. It's a conversation with the Creator. If you open that, you're going to start hearing something different. And that's going to lead you into Mashiach consciousness. Third, Mashiach is the same word, if you flip the letter, which the word Sameach, right? Sameach, which is happiness, or Simcha, happiness, which what? Real Mashiach is when you start to be happy to someone else receive more than you, more than would you be happy for yourself. It doesn't really happen. Would I be happy if my brother received first more than me, which I was entitled for the first one to receive? Can I be happy for him more than myself? I'm working in a company and the person next to me, sold way more than me. Am I happy for him more than I will be happy for myself? Can we achieve a level of happiness for somebody else way more than I would be happy for myself? And can I be happy in times of failures, that you call them? Most of us, in failures, no happiness, depression, right? And the third happiness, איזהו אדם, איזהו עשיר, השמח בחלקו. Can I be happy for my lot? For what the Creator present to me in this world, right? Let's say some people have, I'm not talking about just money and all of that, but this is what you've been served in this world. This is the cards, right? Are you all day long, you get the card, bad cards, this, terrible card. Wait a second. If you're gonna start sending away, you're never gonna make a move. You're never gonna start playing with what you got. Start shoveling around. Let's see. Maybe get another card. Put one down. Put more. Right? Are you really happy for? I love what they got. The cards that they got. I love that. Deal with what you got. It's not a problem. But are you happy about your lot? About what you received in this world? That's the third element. And the fourth element that is super important, it's what we call Vayakam Melech Chadash, right? It says that in this portion, the fourth aspect of Mashiach is when you create what we call Vayakam Melech Chadash Asher Lo Yada Et Yosef. It says in this week that a new king, a new pharaoh was born, right? Because if you remember, Joseph literally made Egypt the wealthiest one, right? And that Pharaoh was always grateful and gave all his family everything, right? But that Pharaoh died. And then a new king, a new Pharaoh was rising. That he doesn't know, he never knew who is Joseph. It happened like, years before, they told me there was a Joseph guy who made it. But now it's a different reality, right? The Israel, right, populate and become, very wealthy around Egypt. And that is the Yakam Melech Chadash, which means a new king came up that didn't know Yosef. Now, okay, obviously that's a very logical way. But what is the message for us? Let's understand the consciousness we want to achieve. That's the real Mashiach. Joseph, represent from what we call in Kabbalah the level of what we call Yesod. Almost like the gatekeeper to abundance to this world. Right? Abundance of light, abundance of money, of success. Joseph represents the channel, the conduit of that particular sphere. His greatest level of attributes was the restriction that he did with the wife of Potiphar, which means represent the highest level of restriction. Now we know restriction is the idea that we pause, we delay our reactivity, right? Now, that is what we call represented by Yosef. And now he says, Vayakam melech chadash. What do you mean Vayakam? And a new king arises. This is the secret for us. Most of us are, better staying with the devil right? Let me deal with the devil I know. That's a lot of us. And I don't want anything new, right? But here what we want every single day. When we want a melech chadash, we want a new way, or a new, a new behavior, or a new way of restriction. Asher lo yada et Yosef, that the restriction that I've done yesterday, it was good for yesterday. Let's say, for example, when you were a child, or maybe maybe yesterday was difficult for you to resist sugar, right? Today you wake up, new king, new rules. I want to conduct myself in a new way. Boom, completely strict about restriction with sugar. Today, right? Yesterday was so difficult for me. Today I wake up, I'm bringing a new way. No more, boom. You can decide that. Easy. Vayakam melech chadash. A new king arises. What do you mean? A new way of restriction, a new consciousness of restriction that never been done before. I was never really think I can do it before. Like, when I was joining the center many 25 years ago, whatever, when I saw people wearing this yarmulke, I says, oh, you think I'm going to wear this? That's what you want me to know? Okay, bye-bye, I left. Right? Yeah, from where I came, no way I put something on my head. Right? But after you learn a new ways, now it's not a problem. And like this is many tools, or many ways, of many interactions, that you need a new level of restriction. What is Mashiach? It's the idea that the pleasure of yesterday is no longer the fulfillment of today. That the restriction that I did yesterday was good for yesterday. Okay, I paused, I didn't react. Yeah, it was good for yesterday. Today I wake up, it's not going to work. I need a new king. A new ruling, a governing energy. That's Vayakam melech chadash. A new king arises. So the 4 ideas that we shared, that we can work on this week. 1 is to know that what I'm experiencing today is a continuum of my story. It's only my story. And to know that this is the story that I'm telling, that I'm going through thousands of years. It's not new. It's just complete continuation of what I need to learn and correct. Second thing is Mashiach, which is Mashiach, conversation. create a conversation with your Creator every day. And remember that the conversations that you have today with people, with kids, with anyone, is a conversation with the Creator. Just to open your conscience for that. Third, happiness. A very important attributes of Mashiach. Private Mashiach we're talking about. Can I be happy for a friend, brother, sister who got married before me, who have a child before me, more than I will be happy for me? I see a co-worker more successful than me, then can I be happy for them? More than what I will be happy for myself. And the third idea is, am I happy for my lot, for the cards that were dealt for me in this world? And the fourth idea, Vayaka Melech Hadash. Create a new consciousness, new way of restriction. The old way of restriction, or the old way I explain myself, it's done, it's gone. The Joseph, the restriction that I've done yesterday, it was a childish one. Today, it's a serious one. And tomorrow it's going to look childish, and I'm going to find a new way to resist the urge. The last thing is, in this section, he says that when Moses was in the basket, right, and his sister, he sending him in the Nile, right, on the water, and then it says the verse, Vatatzav achoto merachok, and his sister was staying from away, watching from far, right? Watching from far. This is a longer conversation. There's many different levels over here. But the deeper part of what we want to awaken here is that there is an idea here that Achoto, his sister, he represents the idea of unity with the light of the Creator. The unity with the light of the Creator. What does it mean? Sometime, in order to reveal light in our life or in other people's life, we need a distance, right? We need to step away, right? So, for example, sometimes, and I share many times when I study something very deep, and I don't really get the answer, or I don't really get the holding on that, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to step away from that, right? A lot of us, sometimes we're working on something and it's too much and we need to take a walk or watch something else, whatever. Sometimes the distance, right, has to be there, but not too far. It's like, when you have a bonfire, right? You need the right exact space not to be burned and choked by the smoke, and not to be too far away to be too cold, right? But that's what in Kabbalah we call it ha'ara merachok. The light shine from a distance, right? If you take the sun and the moon doesn't have to be that close for the moon to shine the light of the sun, right? There's a right amount of distance to the moon, right? Millions and millions miles away, that the sunlight hits the moon, in that exact way it shines to the rest of the planets around, right? Specifically to our Earth. But if the sun will move a little bit backward or too closer, this Earth is in a risk of either get frozen or burn out, right? Nothing to do with the moon. It's this distance, right? That will be healthy trial. The same thing in this world. Your light, it shines. Sometimes if you get too close, too intense, it can create burned. Or if you move too away from that, it can create like a distance or feels like separation. What we call ha'ara merachok, shine from far away, is the idea that you can be so close, not detached, but not, gripping on that, not possessed by that. A lot of us have the difficulty who move away. But that's a merachok. Just step aside, let the light shine. That is what we need to do. Right? The idea of I always give the example when you're sitting and somebody come and block the sun. You don't tell them go away. You just tell them move a little bit. Right? You're just blocking the sun. That's what we do all day long. So with this energy, we need to awaken what we call ha'ara merachok. Sometimes we have to move away to let the light shine. Anyway, this is for this week. There's plenty of stuff going on, and I'm deep and many more secrets that stay here for now. But I think we have enough points for this week. Thank you for joining us tonight, and wish you a beautiful rest of the week and Happy New Year. Thank you.